Because the marketing plan and your value proposition is so important, I'm going to kind of read over what some of the things on my value proposition, my marketing plan. And again, I kind of split it up between advertising, feedback, and my overall responsibility. So I'm going to kind of run through this real quickly and see if you find it helpful. So one of the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to input into different multiple listing systems. Here in Michigan, we have a bunch of different board of realtors and a bunch of multiple listing systems. And so we make sure that we get them in all the different multiple listing systems. I believe that, again, getting accurate information out to the public and also to other realtors is extremely important. So we're going to make sure that we have correct information going out to the public and to other realtors. We do all professional photography. Photographs are probably the second most important thing you can do in marketing. You want to have a professional photographer doing all your photography. And we also do 3D home tours on all of our listings, and it's something that I really recommend. You're going to get more exposure and more hits on Zillow, Realtor.com, and a lot of the multiple sites if you have that 3D home tour. If you have houses that are on acreage, aerial photos are extremely important. Just be aware that 97% of all buyers decide whether they want to see a house or not based on the photographs. So you want to have all professional photography. Do not take your own photos. Do not take photos with your iPhone. That's ridiculous. Go out and get a professional photographer. Pay the money because it will be well worth it in the end. The next thing I always do is I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and then we also boost it. And one of the great things about Facebook Marketplace is, again, the bad part about Facebook is they get all your information as far as your buying habits, etc. It's like if you go to Amazon and you're looking for toasters, and then you go to your Facebook account, then you see ads for toasters. The cool part about from a real estate standpoint is if you advertise on Facebook, you can dial it into the demographic of who you think your demographic is, and then you can boost your posts and send those out to exactly who you think your demographic or your target market is. The next thing we're going to make sure is that it's on all of our different websites. It's going to be on davidmueller.com, realtor.com, Keller Williams or Real Broker, Facebook, Trulia, Zillow, and over 350 additional websites. So the two big ones you want to make sure that you have a presence on is Zillow, and you want to know these facts too, is that 200 million visitors per month visit Zillow. One of the reasons why we still spend money on Zillow is to have that added exposure on Zillow. The next website is Realtor.com at 90 million per month. So you want to make sure that you have a presence on those particular websites. And again, 97% of people will find the listing that they're going to buy on the internet, and they're going to decide whether they're going to see it or not based on the photographs. So you want to make sure you have professional photography, and you want to make sure that you have a great internet presence to fully expose your home to the market. The next thing that we do is send a direct mailing market to target markets. And one of the things that I believe is that the neighbors are our best sources of leads. Who knows the neighborhood better than anybody else? So we send out a just listed postcard into the neighborhood and to try to find if one of the neighbors may know somebody that's interested in buying. The next thing we do is we put together a flyer, and again, I'm a big believer in the 90-10 rule, which is 10% of the realtors do 90% of the business. So we have an email list of the top 10% of the realtors, and we'll do an email blast of listing information, of additional listing information to these agents. We'll make sure that we have professional feature sheets at the house. I know I get a bunch of pushback from people saying that feature sheets are passé, that you don't need feature sheets, that you can get all the information on the internet. I pull my buyers agents on a regular basis, and their clients want feature sheets. They can take notes on the feature sheets, and then the other part, if it's a relocation coming in from out of town, it gets you extra exposure in front of them. And then we make sure that we have a sign with an info box, and we make sure that that info box is full. One of my pet peeves are realtors that have signs with info boxes, and you constantly run by and they don't have any flyers. The most important thing to me as part of your value proposition is going to be the feedback. And one of the things that I tell my clients is, at the end of the day, what I think the house is worth doesn't really matter. Nobody really cares what I, the realtor, thinks. What you, the seller, thinks is the right price, etc., it does matter because you've got to feel good about the price that you accept. But what we want to find out is what a buyer that's pre-approved with money in their pocket, what they think. And then what we do is we try to make 9 attempts for feedback, 3 automated, 3 text messages, 3 emails, and we have a 92% success rate getting that feedback. Because Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if a buyer is showing your property or looking at your property, they're also going to look at the competition. So we want to find out, how do we stand up against the competition and price-wise, condition-wise, and if we need to make any adjustments, we're going to use that information to make any adjustments that we need to do. We kind of say we're going to select showing instructions, optimize showings, and fit their lifestyle, which basically just says we're going to work around your schedule, get as many people through the home, but we want to create as little inconvenience for our sellers at the same time. And then we're going to talk about the property at each one of our meetings that we have on a weekly basis to remind the agents in our office about their property. And then lastly, I kind of go over my overall responsibility, which is obviously it's to sell the property. It's also to handle all the details during the marketing period from sale to close, which includes arranging inspections, appraisal, title work, removal of contingencies, contact purchase lender, arranging closing. And that's kind of some of the basic information we got to go over with our value proposition. Each one of us is going to have a different value proposition. And the other part of it too is that if you're competing against me for a listing and you're brand new or you're rather newer, you need to know what can you do for that seller that I cannot do. Again, we all have a unique value proposition. So again, I reiterate, what the sellers want to know, what is my house worth? What am I going to walk away from the sale with? And number 3, what are you going to do to sell my house and what sets you apart? So having a big idea of what your value proposition and what you're going to be able to do will get you that listing. I had a 92% success rate for listings for about 27 years. It's gotten harder and harder the past few years, but I get about 8 out of every 10 listings I go after. So my marketing plan, I don't use computers, I don't use slideshows, I don't do that. It's all very personal. I want them to focus on me. I want them to focus on the information that we're presenting them. So hopefully I gave you a few little nuggets for you to get that listing appointment. Again, this is what I do 100% of the time. For DMA Real Estate, I just list houses and I negotiate offers and I market properties. And so this is up my alley. So if you need to know anything about listing properties and I can help you with that, leave a message here or go to realdma.com and leave a message. But whatever we can do to help you with your listing presentation or estimation of proceeds or marketing plan, let us know. So thanks again for coming to Now What? This was a little bit more a longer video than we normally have, but listings are the lifeblood of this business. You get the listings, you win. Thanks again for coming to our YouTube channel, and we look forward to seeing you on future episodes of Now What?